Hi, this is Danny, and this is the tutorial for the Introduction to Programming activity. You should have already downloaded the activity and read through it. You should have also already visited the scratch.mit.edu website and created an account there. We're going to step through that site early in this tutorial. If you have not done both of those things, please stop this activity, do them, and then come back here. The skills you learn in this tutorial will allow you to complete the assignments for this module. We're going to review the Scratch environment at the MIT's website, and we are going to create the programs listed in this lab activity. I am going to log into the scratch.mit.edu website, and what you see on the site at this point is the opening landing screen. I am already logged in. If you weren't already logged in, it would prompt you to do so here. And if you didn't already have an account, it would prompt you to create an account in the upper right. The home page allows you to visit featured projects. As you can see, each project is an individual program written in Scratch, and there are quite a few of them. There must be tens of thousands at this point. They've selected some of what they view as the better or more interesting programs or projects for you to look at. You can also visit featured studios. Studios are collections of programs generally put together by one person or a group of people around a particular theme or topic. So for example, if we go into this Gotcha Art Studio, we're going to see that this individual curator, who is Gotch, I guess that makes sense given it's Gotcha Art, has 845 programs or projects and 197 comments on it, 80 people following him in his studio. What is interesting to me about Scratch is that everything is open here, so that when you go into a studio, you are able to take a look at a program. I'm going to pick one I actually haven't looked at before, this Mimi program. Clicked on it, and I am now looking at individual information, the discussion on it. I have the ability to share this. I have the ability to favorite it, which will allow me in my own folder here to find it again quickly. And I have the ability to remix it. That is, I can grab it, grab a copy of it, and make changes to this program and save it off as my own. If I want to look at if I want to run the program, I simply click on the green flag, and this program will run as designed. This one looks like a simple storyline here with some text. And if I want to stop it, I'll just press on the red dot. And if I'm interested in looking at the code written, the actual program lines written to run this program, I can click on See Inside, and it is going to show me what's going on. Now we're going to go through all of this with our lab programs in a little bit, and once you get used to what this this editing environment is like, what we're looking at here will make sense to you. And it's nice because you can look at how other people have solved problems or other people have done creative things and basically go in and borrow that information and make use of it in your own program. I'm going to close this now and go back to the main homepage for Scratch. So again, you can look through dozens, if not hundreds of studios. You can look through thousands of individual programs for ideas. If there's something in specific you're looking for, there's a search engine up here to help you. Again, if you want to refine your profile, you can do so from your account. You can manage your own stuff, that is your programs and your studios if you create a studio. You can also get at that stuff with the Stuff folder here. You can send communication to other people, to each other, to me. If you find somebody else out in the Scratch community you want to write to, you've got the ability to send email. This is going to be Scratch email, so it's just within Scratch. Over on the left, the Explorer is really where we started. That home page was, well, this is a little bit different than the page we were on for the home page, but it allows us to explore the various programs that are out in the community. You can explore them by topics or put in tags to search. Explore them, whether they're new, old, whether they're project, studio, you get the idea. There is a discussion environment if you want to get involved in the discussion environment, if you're looking for answers to specific questions, any wall you run into in your first programs, almost certainly somebody else has run into that wall before, and there may well be a question and answer out here about that. And you can see questions about Scratch, advanced topics. Going to be many things out there that may be useful to you, and then the documentation for Scratch and tutorials are built in under Help. So there's a number of guides and kind of cheat sheets, the Scratch cards, as well as kind of a step-by-step introduction in, some starter projects, although we're giving you the labs that are similar to the starter projects, and a bunch of video tutorials. So you have all sorts of different options for picking up information about Scratch beyond what we're going to show you and ask you to do in the lab exercises. So let me now take you into the actual editing area and give you a brief tour of the editing area. When you go into a clean editing area to start a new project, it will look like this. The upper left corner gives you a place where you can name your project, whatever you want to name it. Whenever you want to save it, it'll save itself occasionally. Notice it just said saved there. It went in, saved itself. If you ever want to save it explicitly because you changed something, you want to make sure it's saved, you just press here where it says saved right now, and it will update the fact that it's saved. Here is the green flag for starting the program, the red stop sign for stopping it, and you'll see the program run in the upper left here. Right now this program does absolutely nothing, so I press the green flag and nothing happens. In the lower left is where you will collect up all of your sprites and stages. Sprites and stages are the resources, the objects that can do behaviors and have properties, and they make your program happen. You could think of it as something like a South Park cartoon. These are the different characters in South Park, and you can make them talk, you can make them move, you can make them gesture, so you can do things with them, and the stage is the background, the setting where all this activity takes place. It's possible to have a plain white stage with nothing going on, and the first couple of projects we're going to look at will have a plain white stage. Over here on the right is where we actually assign the behaviors to a sprite. So for example here, my default sprite is this cat. Everybody's default sprite is the cat. I believe his name is Scratchy. I'm going to call him Scratchy. And when he is clicked on here, he is the sprite that we are acting on. And if we want him to do something, we simply drag over to the right here the thing we want him to do. And if we click on it, we can kind of debug or test it out, and he'll do what we ask him to do. Right now, we're asking him to move 10 steps to the right. I double click on that, and there he goes. 10 steps are not very far, but we're moving him to the right there. And we can ask him to turn around, or we'll turn as far as we want him to turn. Let's have him turn 180 degrees. So we can ask him to move 10 steps and then turn around. Well, he turned upside down there, didn't he? And we could ask him to move another 10 steps and turn back, and now he's just going to kind of dance back and forth like that. If we want, I'm going to just move him back over here. We could have him move 200 steps and do the same sort of thing. There he goes, and now he's going back and forth. So we're giving him activities. If we want this to happen as part of a program, notice nothing happens there. We simply go to we go to events, and we tell it to do these things when the green flag is clicked. So I add that to the top, and now he's going to do that whenever I click the green flag. So these brown statements are events. The blue are motions, which are a form of behaviors. And you saw from the reading there is a concept called a loop. And if we want to have him just do this over and over again, a loop is a type of control. I'm going to move these two down. I'm going to put in I talked about a repeat until loop in the reading, but I'm going to do a forever loop here. Nice, simple. Once it starts, it's just going to happen forever. I'm going to take these two blue items, put them back in. Notice the background gets white in there when it's going to drop inside. And now when I click the green flag forever, it's going to move 200 steps, turn around, and move another 200 steps back. And while he's just doing that very quickly, and he'll continue to do that forever. If I want to slow him down a little bit here, I'm going to pull all that out. And let's see, what can I do? I can have him wait a second. So let's pull that out, have him wait there, turn around, and put that back in, reattach it. And now stops, turns, comes back, stops, turns, comes back. He's waiting each time through the loop for a second. Slowed him down a bit. If we want to see him walking, rather than just have him move those 200 steps, we have some choices for that. This choice here, glide, will allow him to glide the steps over a certain amount of time. To get rid of the move, I'm just going to take it over to this bar and drop it, and it disappears. So I'll have him glide over, let's see, 1 second to a position. Now the positions, notice we have X, that's across, and Y is up and down. And if I've got scratchy right there, that looks to be about negative 140 and 0. So I'm going to drop this out here again. Glide 1 second to negative 136 and 15. Well, actually, this is set to where he's at. So he's at negative 136.15. Let's move him to positive 136.15, and then we'll move him back. And each time we are going to turn him around and upside down and point him the other way. You know what? I think let's see, turn in direction rather than turn in direction. I'm going to drop that, and I'm going to point him in the other direction. I'm going to point him 180 degrees. I think he won't flip upside down if I do that. And then we're going to point him in direction. I think here's what we want. We want 90 and 270. Let's try that. 90 to go to the right. I think it's 0 to go up. It's like a clock. 90 to the right, 180 down, and 270 left. So let's see if this works. We will wait in between, and we'll wait at the other end, and we'll put all this in here. Drop the first 3 in, drop the second 3 in, attach it to click, and I think he's going to come over a course of 1 second, glide over, turn around, wait a second, glide back, turn around, wait a second, and I'll just keep doing that. He's still turning upside down, but that's something we'll deal with in a little bit. So we've got him moving at a steadier pace there. All right, with that, let me stop this, and let's take a look at the first program that you are going to be doing in the lab. And we'll do that in the next video.